Hi, JFA. Well, this week we've been reading the first 5 chapters in the book of the Gospel according to John, and I'm sure you agree with me. It's action-packed. It's just like one thing after another, and you think, oh my goodness, what's God trying to speak to me through all of this action? You know, you've got, in the first chapter, you've got the baptism of Jesus. You've got the wedding in Cana. You've got the meeting with Nicodemus, and him telling Nicodemus, you must be born again, and Nicodemus is in the dark. And then later on, you've got the healing of the man at the pool of Bethesda, and you think, oh my goodness, this is just phenomenal. But I was thinking that in order to really better understand the first 5 chapters, I thought God really laid the groundwork, or John did, when he wrote the first 5 verses of chapter 1. And that said, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him nothing was made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. You know, it's interesting that of the 4 Gospels, they all start at different points in time. Matthew begins with the genealogy of Jesus, going back to Abraham. Luke starts with the story of the birth of John the Baptist and how he talked to his father and the prophecy there. But John begins at the very beginning. He begins even before Genesis, because he states that Jesus existed before anything else was created, and that's pretty exciting when you think about it. One thing, if you ever talk to a person who studies evolution, they can always talk about the Big Bang Theory, but they can't explain who created the space that the Big Bang existed from, or where that big compilation of matter began before it exploded. But Jesus was there for all of that, if that's how indeed he did it. Also, Jesus existed, the word says, before creation ever began. So, in other words, God and Jesus, the Holy Spirit, all exist outside of our universe. You know, it's not like heaven is existing on Saturn or someplace like that. It's outside our realm. Some may say it's outside our dimension. Well, whatever word you use, it exists outside us. And he was there, and he created this space, and he said, let there be light. And you know, he never second guessed himself. He didn't doubt. He said, well, how am I going to pull this off? Now, he knew from the beginning he had the faith, he had God's faith, and he spoke it into existence. He created this space, created the world, spun them into existence, and spoke them all into existence. Fantastic when you think about it. When you think about the bigness of God, the problems that we have sometimes, we think, oh, that problem's too big for God. No, God's bigger than the universe he created. He's awfully big. But he understands so much more than we give him credit for. The hairs on your head are numbered. A sparrow doesn't fall to the ground that he doesn't see. He's able to meet all your needs all the time. So whether you're Nicodemus and you're questioning, you know, what did you mean when you said you must be born again? Well, Jesus was talking of spiritual things, not the things of this earth. Also, when he healed the man at the pool of Bethesda, what did he say? He'd been there 39 years. He says, do you want to be healed? That seems like a silly question to us. And the man just didn't say yes. He says, well, I have no one to put me into the pool. But basically, Jesus asks us, Do you want to be healed? Do you want to believe? These are questions he asks us every day. And I think as we ponder the greatness of God, I think that gives us a good insight and a good way of dealing with the gospel. That's what I got out of it, and I hope we'll see you on Sunday.